Hey guys, I'm Nick, and on this episode of the Scran Line, I'm going to show you guys how to make these birthday cake macarons. Now, I should probably start this off by saying, you guys probably don't know this about me, but I'm actually obsessed with macarons. And I think I have talked about a little bit about my origin story with macarons in another episode, so if you can find that, I've already told that story. I might tell it again another time. But I am obsessed with macarons. I love making macarons. I love macarons. And so I decided I'm going to make a special macaron for you guys. I'm making a birthday cake macaron. So these actually have birthday cake inside them. And they've got bubblegum frosting as well. It's absolutely delicious and it's amazing. It's such a good fit, the cake and the bubblegum frosting. Absolutely amazing. These are the ingredients you need to make them. Okay guys, so to make these birthday cake macarons, the ingredients you're going to need are almond flour, icing sugar. Now you want to make sure that's pure icing sugar, caster sugar, 2 lots of egg whites, vanilla extract, water, pink food dye or any food dye color of your choice, some sprinkles and some vanilla cake. And you can find the full recipe on my website, thescranline.com, or I'll leave a link in the description down below for you guys to follow. So we're going to start off by popping our almond flour and icing sugar into a food processor. Now if you don't have a food processor, you can use a sift to do this. You'll need to sift it about 3 times. Now the aim of this is to get everything mixed in nicely and make sure that if there's any lumps of almond flour that are a little bit too big, that you're getting those a little bit smaller or collecting them if you're sifting them. So once everything is mixed in beautifully, we are going to pop that into a large mixing bowl and pour our egg whites on top. So 1 portion of our egg whites, and mix that until it reaches a paste texture. Now it's going to seem at first like it's not going to get to a paste, but trust me, it will. Cover that with plastic wrap and set it aside. We're going to move on to making our syrup next. So pop your sugar and water into a small saucepan. Just give it a very gentle stir to begin with. Don't stir it too much, just to get it going. So pop in a candy thermometer, and it's really important that you use one of these because you want to get it to the exact temperature. Now while this thing is bubbling away, it's bubbling some sugar on the sides of our pot. We want to use a brush and a little bit of water to brush those back down into the syrup. Once we reach 115 degrees Celsius, we want to pop our egg whites on in our mixer to start whisking up and frothing up. Once we reach 118 degrees Celsius, we're going to very, very slowly pour that very hot syrup into our egg whites while the mixer is on medium-high speed. Now it's important that you do this slowly, otherwise you'll cook your egg whites. Once you've got everything in there, add your vanilla and pink food dye. Now I'm using a lot of pink food dye because I want these nice and pink. Now we want to scrape down that bowl because you can see there's a little bit of white there still. So we want to make sure everything is colored evenly. And mix that up until you reach stiff peaks. So you'll also feel the side of the bowl cooling down. That's a good indication that you're done as well. If you can turn the bowl upside down and nothing falls out, you know that you've reached stiff peaks. And we're ready to move on to our next bit. So we're going to place about a spatula full of our meringue into that almond mixture from earlier, and we want to gently fold that in until it's nice and smooth. Then you can add the rest of your meringue, and this bit is super important guys. This is the part where most people go wrong. It's in the mixing stage. So the way I do it, and a lot of people do it differently, but the way I do it is I go around and through the center. Now some people will count the amount of times they do this. I don't think that's important. The most important thing to look for is the consistency of this batter. So we want to reach a ribbon stage, and once it's falling off the spatula like a ribbon, like you can see here, it's not quite ready yet. So we keep mixing 2 at a time and keep testing. Okay, so you can see this is nice and ribbony now, and our ribbon disappears after about 10 seconds. Perfect time to stop. So we want to dab a little bit underneath our baking paper on our baking trays, and this is going to stop our baking paper from flopping around our oven. So I'm using a large round tip nozzle to pipe my macarons, and we're going to use a large jug or a cup to help our piping bag stay up while we pour our batter into it. So you want to twist the end, and we're ready to start piping. So you want to pipe these macarons about 3 centimeters in diameter. Don't pipe them too big because they will spread a little, and you want to make sure that you pipe them about 3 centimeters apart from each other. So once you've piped all of your macarons, we're going to very gently tap each side of our tray, and that's going to help any air bubbles come to the surface. To finish these off, we're going to sprinkle some hundreds and thousands on top, and we're going to set these aside to dry for 30 minutes. Now at this stage you can preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. You'll know your macarons are ready to pop in the oven when you touch them very gently and they've developed a little bit of a skin on top and aren't sticky anymore. So we're going to bake these for 10 minutes, making sure that they don't get too golden. You don't want to get color on them. If you can see that your oven is causing color on one side, turn them around about halfway through. While our macarons are baking and cooling, we're going to prepare our buttercream frosting by adding a bit of bubblegum essence and blue food dye. Again, you can choose any color you like, and mix that in well. Now I'm using a piping nozzle to cut out little discs about 1 centimeter in diameter of my cake. Our macarons have baked, and you can see they're beautifully done. Nice feet at the bottom, so that little disc around, that's called feet, and it's got a nice crispy even shell. So I'm going to frost these using a star nozzle, and we're going to put a little dab in the center to start with, just to help our little cake discs stick on better, and pipe little bubbles around the sides. Nice and fancy like. It is a birthday party after all. Or you can pretty much have these any time of the year that you like. So a final dab on the center and stick on the other side of your macaron, and that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so those were my birthday cake macarons. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Now just a word of warning, okay? I'm one of those people who hate it when people say macaroon. A macaroon and a macaron are completely different things. So if you're leaving a comment down below, please delete the extra O or I will not respond. I hate it. It's a pet hate of mine. They're two different things. Macaroon, macaron, different. So you're going to find the recipe on my website, thescranline.com, or I leave a link in the description down below for you guys to follow. Make sure you follow me on social media. My last recipe is over there for you guys to watch, so click on that for more deliciousness. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you all on the next episode of The Scran Line.